Hello and welcome to the 18th race of the Utica Home Track Series here at the Sierraville Speedway in Sierraville, California. A great race today as the starting grid rolls past. All those with an R next to them are rookies, and we have to mention this is the last Superspeedway of the season, and an interesting twist for this track, we are going to be turning right as the custom for this track is. So no left-handers here today, it's all going to be right-hand turns, which is unusual for these drivers, except for when they're on the road courses. So here are the 42 cars that make up your starting grid for today. There were quite a few drivers actually that failed to qualify. This was a highly contested race. Esteban Cortez, Michael Aurelio, Jerry Guerra, Matt Duell, Sam Young, Joseph Ernesto, Okuyama Dea, Caitlin Stringer, Connor Germain, Thomas Beatty, Cameron Diamond, Jonathan Benz, and Vladimir Petrov. They all have to try again at the Batista Bowl. On pole and starting on the outside lane this time, it is David Yankee, car number 07, the Captain America Dodge. This car is more used to running on the road courses, as David Yankee is a road race ace. This is the only car they entered this weekend, as they wanted to focus their resources into David Yankee winning a championship. So Samantha Yankee on the pit box this week, as you see Andrew Robinson, car 43, starting to dive down to the inside. Now we have one driver that was having some issues on the start, Matt Evans. As we take a look back here, one of the championship competitors from last year and a championship competitor this year was very slow coming off the start and lost the pack. He's starting to move it back up there, but they're wondering if that could be a problem that could persist throughout the day. They're not really sure what happened. Maybe he just missed a shift on the start. But car number 4 back up and running at race pace. So hopefully this won't affect his points too much. Andrew Robinson was your race leader coming back to the line as Brandon Bain bounced to the inside. Andrew Robinson does have a win this season. He won at Silverstone, which came as a huge surprise. No one expected him to win any races this season, let alone that one. It was a big upset. He's up here near the front today. He's going to get himself a bonus point to try and keep himself in the top 35. It doesn't look like he'll win a championship, but he's trying to make sure that he's locked in for next season, as he's going to take that lead back away from Brandon Bain, who took it away from him briefly. William Duncan, your points leader, not doing well today at all. He's been running back in 39th position on track. This is not good for him, but a good sign for Jeffery Finguy. Finguy's been trying to catch up after he lost the lead to him. It's been a huge battle between Duncan and Finguy, but William Duncan currently sitting far in the back of the pack, only ahead of Megan Curley, Maria Camiso, and Matt Evans are caught up. The only driver who's going to really capitalize on is Matt Evans, who's a couple spots behind him anyways. He also has to worry about the potential of a big one happening and him getting caught up in it. So he's going to have to try and work his way to the front relatively quickly. Car number 69, the very noticeable Juju's machine of Michelle Cittadino is going to be your race leader coming back to the stripe. Michelle Cittadino's had a very quiet season. This car has not really shown too much in the winning department. She has one career win. It came at Zandvoort the year before, in 2012, which came as a surprise victory. She's better at these Superspeedway, so we'll see if she has something for them today. Andrew Robinson will go back into the lead briefly, car number 43, but Brandon Bain, car number 21, will steal from him the next lap. Brandon Bain has been kind of having a back-and-forth season as he's getting passed by Tyler Benoit to the inside. Brandon Bain has not had any wins, but he's not done outlandishly bad. He's been very close to the championship hunt, and he's hoping that he can get a good run today. There goes car number 50, Dylan Young to the inside. Looks like he's going to be your race leader for this lap. Dylan Young is one of those drivers that really needs to make sure he stays in the top 35. And he's got a lot of competition in the way of Justin Benoit, Joseph Bryan, who are both in this race, that have been really trying to push him down. Now Benoit is locked in, but yeah, sorry about that. David Yankee led one more lap, and Jamie Murphy is going to lead a lap as well. Murphy needs these bonus points as she's starting to fall out of the championship hunt. He's going to get past on the inside of the 13Y and the 07, but David Yankee would round out back to the race lead. But speaking of that number 13Y, this is Rose Tyler driving the RGE Motorsports car. No one expected this car to even make the show, if any races. And look at this, running up in the top 10, along with other surprise drivers like Nick Capps, Trek Togger, and Prudence Littlejohn. This is a great equalizer here, and Rose Tyler, which was once seen as kind of a joke entry, is now on track doing well. Jeffery Finguy is going to work his way up to the front and take a pass to the lead. JFI has had an amazing organization this year. Jeffery Finguy has won a race. So has Julian Kenneblez, two in fact for Kenneblez. And Shock was a race winner as well. So all three other drivers have been in the victory lane this season. Now they're hoping they can get one of their cars into winner's circle at Myrtle Beach, winning the championship. Finguy's the closest to it, and with Duncan running pretty far back, he's going to have a good points day. But Julian Kenneblez Jr. can also win it too. Caution on lap 15. Prince Littlejohn and Rose Tyler got into each other in the qualifier race. Rose Tyler wrecked Littlejohn after the stripe. Prince Littlejohn's going to wreck her during the race. She's not happy. Cars on the wall. Dylan Young, Alex Tanker, Brandon Bain. More cars involved. I think I saw Brendan Patterson get a piece of it. Other cars have stacked up, including Andres Allen and Brian Valentine. One more angle. This is with Brandon Bain. Nowhere to go. Thought he was going to avoid it, but Trek Togger just going to come right down into him. Russell Curry gets involved. So is Trek Togger. What a shame. They have penalized Littlejohn by not giving her any funding for finishing the race. She will not get any prize money. We got an incident on lap 15. Cars trying to get back in line. Brian Benoit trying to keep his spot from championship competitor Dom Capps. He goes into the wall, and that's going to hurt him. And that wasn't all. Incident lap 15. Couple spots ahead of him. This is Brock McMahon. He's going to get turned by Willie Decker and sent into the inside wall. So two championship competitors are going to get wrecked in this incident here caused by Littlejohn. Now we take a look at a pit incident that happened lap 16. Now cars went down for pit stops. Early on here, you see the cars going in there. It looks like Brandon Bain gets a little too much into pit road. Dylan Young's going to get clipped, and look at this, cars are just going to stack in with nowhere to go. They were way too fast coming in. And you got all these cars stacking up. Fortunately, no drivers will go out there, though I think Andreas Allen, car number 08, would have some issues getting back on the racetrack. Julian Kenneblez Jr. would lead a lap under caution, but Jamie Murphy cycled out to be a race leader once again. And as you can notice, the cars to the outside of the lap cars, everything's reversed here. So the lap cars, instead of being on the inside, they're on the outside for this race, which could be an interesting development for this series. But Jamie Murphy back off into the race lead, hoping to get those points, as Justin Benoit is also running close behind. Caution 2, lap 21. We didn't stay green flag for long. We go into the turn here. There is car number 1, Willie Decker. Looks like someone else got into the wall, but he's going to go up and make contact with Joshua Michaels. Shock. Neil Evans, and almost goes over Willie Decker. Shock will go over. Unfortunately, these steep banks makes hitting the apron pretty difficult. David Yankee, car number 07, would be your race leader after a couple drivers went to pit, but we had an incident on lap 22. Brendan Patterson, car number 84, slow on track, just going to pull right up in front of John Sadino. That would heavily damage that car, would not run the same. You see a couple other drivers get into it. John Sadino furious over the radio at Brendan Patterson for being outlandishly slow and pulling off into the middle of the racetrack. We take a look at Nick Capps, who's currently sitting in the 3rd position on the restart. Nick Capps has not been in a race since Sonoma earlier this year, and no one expected him to make the race this weekend, but sure enough, he won the qualifier event. So, great show by car number 18, hoping to get a good finish out of this. Caution 3, lap 25, still didn't stay green flag for long. William Duncan, car number 83, is going to get wrecked by his teammate, Brendan Patterson. It's going to collect Zachary Robinson, too. Both cars keep it running, but Duncan, a couple of choice words for his teammate, who's already caused some trouble today. Incident lap 25. John Sadino, the steering is going to completely break on the number 72 car. Could not avoid that pace car, as it was an aftermath of the Brendan Patterson crash. He would go out of the race, and look at that, cars are going to stack. As you can take a look at here, Tyler Benoit is just going to run into his father in the 75 car. Sends the 75 car over in one of the strangest wrecks I may have seen today. Caution 4, lap 28. There was no wreck that caused this caution, but as Colin Bartel led the race, they were having scoring issues, so they extended the caution period. Colin Bartel would have to pit for a mechanical issue, though, and that would put, believe it or not, Rose Tyler in the lead as she's almost wrecking Alex DeMarco. I don't know what she's doing, but Rose Tyler being cycled out into the race lead in the number 13 Y. I'm not sure if she knows what to do in the race lead, as she almost turned around the 51 machine for no reason. Nick Capps and Broderick Mann running close behind. Not many cars on the lead lap at this stage in the event, and it's relatively early too, incident lap 31. No caution for this, but Brandon Bain tries to get back in line, and is going to pull himself in front of Tyler Benoit, and he's going to end up being the loser here. And Brandon Bain, who's hoping for a good run today, has to fall a little bit behind on the start. Rose Tyler couldn't keep that lead for long as Nick Capps would go down to the inside. Nick Capps absolutely proud with how his race car is running this weekend, as he's battling with some top drivers like Brad McMahon. Julian Kenneth Jr. is currently listed a lap off the pace in 16th, so he's not running up there for the race lead. But right now, a battle between McMahon and Capps, and at least Capps gets to battle. He usually is sitting on the sidelines watching his brothers drive. We had Nick Capps go back into the race lead after Brad McMahon took the lead. Ray Takeda, car number 13Y out of nowhere, works her way up to the front, and that car is going to be leading the lap here today. Ray Takeda has not had a particularly good season. Her best run came at Indianapolis, which is a super speedway like this. But this one's a little more in the banking department. Ray Takeda might have something for the rest of them today if she can keep this run going. Nick Capps would be able to catch up finally, and he would retake the race lead. But look at that lap traffic, as you have Jamie Murphy, Justin Benoit, Michelle Sedina, and Julian Kenneth Jr. all battling close there. And there's another group of cars right in front of them, so we'll have to see how this will shake up the lead back. We had incident lap 43. Rose Tyler is going to try and pull down in front of Bob Citadino, and she's going to send herself into the wall. Finguy and Citadino get into the wall. And somehow, this was only an incident. I'm surprised the caution was not called for. But Rose Tyler, another rookie mistake, trying to pull in front of veteran Bob Citadino. We're going to spotlight William Duncan here today. He's worked his way all the way up to 9th position, and with Jeffery Finguy getting into the wall, that's not going to be good for him. Finguy is still ahead of Duncan, running in the 6th place position. But the damage from that crash is going to send him to pit road. Rose Tyler would have to pit as well. And Finguy is watching William Duncan drive away, still keeping that points lead. Finguy is going to have to try and go after him next week at the Batista Bowl. We got a caution on lap 60. Here we go. Dylan Young just missed Joshua Michaels, but couldn't escape Alex Tanker and Neil Evans. And look at that. They're still wrecking down that backstretch. And they still, oh, look at that. They collect Nicholas Guerra, too. They've wrecked along the entire length of the backstretch. As you see, Nicholas Guerra getting involved. It's a shame for him. There's Era Shock sliding past. This would send Tanker and Shock out of the race. Incident lap 61. Nick Capps, under caution, is running up there with this group of cars. Jamie Murphy's just going to come up and turn him. I think maybe she was upset with maybe the way he was racing her, being a lap car. And look at that, Nick Capps going to flip the car over. He's going to lose the race lead. He keeps it on track, but that car would be out of winning contention. Graphic Man, car number 44, currently the only car behind the pace car. He would be your race leader as they pitted, but he would pit himself. And Ray Takeda would go back into the race lead. Only 3 cars are on the lead lap. My apologies. But only 2 of them are in the frame at the moment. The other one is Joseph Bryant, who had this close call. He's battling with Dylan Young. And they're just not giving each other an inch. They almost wreck each other. Good job by both of them to save it. But Joseph Bryant trying not to be too risky, as he wants to make sure he locks himself in this race. This is a great opportunity being in 3rd. Caution 6, lap 65. Nicholas Guerra again just can't seem to avoid trouble. He's going to make contact with Dylan Young. He slides down the track there. Oh, Bruce Littlejohn couldn't avoid him. There's Andrew Robinson. More cars involved. There's Rose Tyler. There was a red car, I believe. Is that Brad McMahon that slipped himself over? That's going to be a killer. He was your race leader. And we had some more incidents under caution. Nick Capps is not going to clear the pace car. Something with the steering on that as well. Same issue as John Cedino. That car goes flying into the infield. He would be out of the race. Which is a shame for him if he was hoping for a good race. But that's not all. Another car is going to crash. Joseph Bryant. Same issue. Steering's going to go on the 80 machine. That car slinks to a stop. He would also fall out of the race. We also have a report the pole sitter fell out of the race due to a mechanical issue, David Yankee. Caution 7, lap 70. Zachary Robinson, car number 5, driving on track, but that car is really starting to slow down as it goes into the first turn. And with a car stalled on track, they are not going to take any chances with that. They throw the yellow. Look at that, a couple other cars, they slow down just in time, but could have been much worse than what it actually was. Ray Takeda leads him back to the green as the only car on the lead lap. Every car on track is a lap down or more, trying to have a Megan Curley-like performance. Megan Curley, if you do not remember, was the winner at Martinsville, won the race by a couple laps over second place Joey Beatty. Right now, Takeda having a great race, just needs to make sure she doesn't get wrecked in the final stages. We had a caution on lap 75. Nicholas Guerra again, that car is just going to jack down to the middle of the racetrack. It's going to collect several other cars, including Curley. The 2 remaining JFI cars. Michelle Cedino's going to go over. Brandon Bain is going to get involved as well. Nicholas Guerra has been kind of a trouble spot today. If you had an incident in lap 75. Seth Cole trying to pull himself back into line. He is not going to clear Prudence Littlejohn before he tries to pull ahead of her. And could have been a spotter miscue, or just kind of an odd maneuver by Seth Cole. It's going to wreck some cars even more. Prudence Littlejohn was not happy. With only 20 laps to go, we had car number 45, Julian Kenneblaise Jr. running in second place, but a lap down. This is going to be a great points day for him, as he's going to be able to catch up to teammate Jeffrey Finguy, and maybe even catch up to William Duncan, as William Duncan's fallen back into the late 10s. We also have to take a look at Willie Decker, who with only 10 laps to go was your third place driver, also 1 lap off the pace. Willie Decker will not be in this car for the rest of the season. It's going to be Michael Aurelio, who has reached an agreement with Phoenix Indiana Motorsports to drive that vehicle. Willie Decker will drive his own car for select events. But Willie Decker trying to go out with a bang for this team, getting them a third place run as he catches up to Trek Togger in a fast manner. But no one could catch up to Ray Takeda, who is all by herself with the exception of Brian Valentine. Ray Takeda would cross the line, win her first career Utica Home Track Series race, and the first career Utica Home Track Series win for RGE Motorsports, who was not expected to win anything this year. This was a weekend to remember for the RGE Motorsports team and a real confidence booster going into the final couple events as we take a look at our race results for today's event. Ray Takeda was your winner and the Rookie of the Race, going to give her 5 extra bonus points in the Rookie of the Year standings. Kenneblaise and Decker were a lap off the pace, then followed by Capps, McMahon, Nikki Allen, a great run today, Jamie Murphy and Marie Camisa for the LeGray Racing Team, Justin Benoit, Bob City, and rounding out your top 10. Duncan, Young, and Rose Tyler were all 2 laps off the pace, great run by Rose Tyler. Then Robinson, Finguy, Aurelio, Evans, DeMarco were 3 laps off the pace. Valentine, Capps, Evans, Benoit, Robinson, Littlejohn, Michaels, Curley, and Cole were 5 laps off the pace. Nicholas Guerra was 6 laps down. Colin Bartel was 7 laps down, along with Brian Benoit, Trek Togger. Then we had Brendan Patterson and Brandon Bain 9 laps off the pace. Michelle Cedino and Russell Curry were 11 laps off the pace. And Joseph Bryant, Nick Capps, David Yankee, the pole sitter, Eric Schock, Alex Tanker, John Cedino, and Andreas Allen all went out of the race. Upsetting days for those drivers as they were hoping to make something happen. Let's take a look at what the point standings look like. Brock McMahon is your points leader, with William Duncan running in second place by only 4 points. There's Jeffrey Finguy, Julian Kenneblaise Jr., Bob Cedino, Dom Capps, Matt Evans, Brian Valentine, Russell Arcuri, and Nicholas Guerra, your top 10. Justin Capps is also tied with them. Then we have Yankee, Camiso, Benoit, Murphy, who's trying to catch her way up in points, Robinson, Bartel, who's really fallen back since the beginning of the year, Brandon Bain, Eric Schock, Megan Curley, your top 20. Then we got Neil Evans, Ray Takeda, Michelle Cedino, John Citadino, Alex DeMarco, Andreas Allen, Samantha Yankee, who is not here this week, and that's everyone who is mathematically eligible to win the championship. Andrew Robinson and back cannot win this title, but can lock themselves in still, as Seth Cole, Trek Togger, Bob Cortez, Dylan Young, Chris Aurelio, who was here this weekend, Justin Benoit, Alex Tanker round out your top 35. We'll take a look at the drivers outside of the top 35 that need the race their way in. They are running 36th and back in points. Kevin Ulrich is in 36th, so he doesn't have a ride anymore. Willie Decker close to working his way in. Jeff Evans, Joseph Bryant, Jerry Guerra, Joshua Michaels. Every other driver are unable to make it in next race. 57th place in the back, can't reach the top 85. That's where Nick caps is in points. I don't have the Rookie of the Year points. We unfortunately lost those. Next week, it's going to be the Batista Bowl. No drivers are locked in, so every driver is going to be in the qualifier race. Let's see how that happens.